being sentimental because Heat 1, get to play this graphic again, starts very, very soon. And I screwed it up. Oh well. Last race of the season, you're allowed to make some mistakes like that. All right, so this is the heat. This is about to go. All right, so Heat 1 is about to begin. In this heat, we have Castlefied, Nuked Ice Cream, Gogeta Rules, Sully, Realistic, EOEO Snap, and J-Rod. EOEO Snap is actually one of the code monkeys in a part of the development team on HT 5.0, which we'll be releasing more info on shortly. This gate is about to drop anytime. Race 17 is now underway with the gate drop. EOEO Snap not timing that right, but J-Rod looks like he could get the whole shot. A lot of riders go down. Sully goes absolutely crazy, and Unrealistic is going to grab that whole shot, but Castle comes out of nowhere, swipes him out mid-air, and gains first place. Oh, in first place right now after that crazy start. Always a crazy start on Global SX. This track is made by Purple Dinosaur, by the way. Is Castlefied in first, Gogeta in second, Unrealistic in third, Nuked Ice Cream in fourth, and the final transfer position going to J-Rod with EOEO Snap and Sully fighting it out for a position better than last place. That's where both of them sit right now. But Castle is looking very good in first place with Gogeta actually gaining a little bit of time on him from that last lap, as you can see on our beautiful billboard. This is, in fact, race 17. So we see Gogeta Rules still ahead of Unrealistic, but Unrealistic can't really tell if he's been gaining ground or anything, but J-Rod is going to opt for the outside right there, and then he's going to case it, not enough speed on the berm, and then gets run into by Sully, sending him just absolutely crazy with EOEO Snap now in last place. So in Heat 1, I know it's been a while, but I'm going to go back over this again for anyone watching that hasn't really done this. Castle going a little crazy at the end of that first rhythm section. He overturns on the turning portion of it. Actually, turning portion, the entire thing turns. Um, but he loses time to Gogeta Rules because of that. Though still in first place and in qualifying position, exactly where he wants to be. That losing that little bit of time, that's usually guys up front kind of judge each other in the heats and base that judgment off of how they might do in the main. So it's a little more relaxed in the heat unless you're sitting just in a qualifying position or just out of a qualifying position. But usually when you're comfortable, like Castle and Gogeta, you're kind of just, you're just trying to see what your opponent's doing. Gogeta rolls way faster into that berm than Castle fight. So you see him just slide in like that. Gogeta Rules is a master of just sliding into places that was inappropriate. So he does look a little bit faster. He was definitely faster than Castlefight on that lap. It's both him and Castle go over that. But Castlefight casing that finish line double right there, and now Gogeta Rules is right on his heels trying to get that first place. We'll come back to them, but let's just see the rest of your qualifying spots, and that is solely moving back into the last qualifying position right there with J-Rod and EOEO Snap still in last place. EOE just crossing the finish line right now. Gogeta Rules has lost a little bit of ground on Castlefight. Might have cased a jump or two. More than likely, that's what happened. Actually, switch to this other view and get a bird's eye view of what's going on. These commentator booths are just splendid, Edward. Many props, many props. So with only 3 laps left to go, 5 laps have been completed. This is an 8-lap race. Castlefied still sitting ahead of Gogeta Rules in first place. Look on the rest of the track. We see EOEO Snap still in last, going over there, and just exiting the whip section is J-Rod. He's gonna have to make up a lot of time. Where his main event guaranteed rider is gonna be passed by Unrealistic, but then he gets his position back after going on the outside right there. Smart move by Nuked Ice Cream to stay composed, stay calm, make sure that he's not losing that position. Going back to our leaders, not much has changed. at all, other than the fact that Gogeta rules does look like he's starting to get a little bit closer. Go back to our first view right here. It's a little distracting, I know, but something that just has to be done. So Gogeta rules could make a last lap pass on Castle Fight, whereas Castle is now looking to lapping EOEO Snap in a heat race. He's sitting out in my living room right now, and that just has to be completely embarrassing to be lapped in a heat race. Anyway, we like to have fun here at HT Supercross. Usually at each other's expense. Gogeta Rules is gonna lose time on that rhythm section. We're trying to go to the outside, and then EOE pushes Castlefied off of the rhythm section or off that berm. Not sure what happened, but that's what it looked like to me. And it looks like he's just kind of given up right now. He's pulled off to the side. Has kind of lost all of his drive and ambition to keep racing. And the only Supercross race he's been in this season, and just doing absolutely terrible bad. Channeling my Charles Barkley here. So the race is over. Castlefied has grabbed that top qualifying spot in Heat 1. Gogeta Rules also goes straight to the main event. Sully nuked. And J-Rod also go to the main. So Unrealistic and EOEO Snap gets sent to the last chance qualifier, which we will be right back with, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back. All right, everyone. Graphics gone. Racers are spawned. Let's go to this view. Let's see if this view works out for hole shots. This actually would be kind of sick. Let's see how it works out. Kind of sick. I'm sorry, that's not very professional. This would be quite exquisite. Could be quite exquisite. Hopefully I don't fall off. So Bean J-Rod. Looks like Edward is racing. Edward and EOEO Snap all in this last chance qualifier, fighting for that last chance to get into the main event. Only the top two. The gate is down, and your four racers are off. King Edward looks like he could grab this whole shot. EOEO Snap and last. EOEO Snap is going to go down on that first section right there, leaving him behind people. But Bean also screws up on that first rhythm section. So J-Rod goes down after the double roller section, and now Edward sits in first place by himself. Whereas Bean05 now sits in the other transfer spot, with King Edward way ahead of him, and EOEO Snap about a section behind J-Rod right now. So anything is possible. Only one lap has been completed out of a 6-lap race. So anything is still possible, and this pack is pretty evenly split, with the exception of EOE. It looks like he's lost a little bit more than a section. Yeah, he's about a section and a quarter down from J-Rod right now. As Bean05 is going to opt for the roller parts, go side to side. Some racers do that, some of them don't. They go side to side on that. EOEO Snap going down at the end of that rhythm section again. This doesn't put him in a very hot spot to qualify right now. Whereas Bean05 is not really catching Edward, but not losing him either. But J-Rod is certainly catching Bean right now. And with 2 laps completed, seeking to challenge Bean for that final transfer spot as both get over the first jump section cleanly. Let's see how J-Rod navigates this rhythm section. Not too hot. Doesn't get the landings and that he needed, so he's gonna lose a little bit of time on Bean, but hopefully he can make it back. Because Bean is taking the outside of that berm and J-Rod isn't. The faster line is actually not taking that berm at the end of that section. So J-Rod looks like he's at about the same spot that he was. So he lost a little bit of time, but has gained some of that back. Whereas Bean has fallen way behind King Edward. Edward is just taking off at this point. showing that he should have been in the main event to start. Bean casing the outside of that, and J-Rod skims the top of that berm and then grinds straight into the tough block. That loses a lot of time, and the race is halfway over, so he needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat to be able to catch up to Bean. And screwing up again is not J-Rod. That's EOEO Snaps. We'll follow J-Rod and for the remainder of this race, and he is past Bean 05. No idea what happened, but Bean is now out of transfer position with J-Rod in second place. And I have no idea what happened. Bean may have just flipped on the whoops right there. I don't think we even got that on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, and I do apologize for that. People talking out in the living room, being very distracting. But anyway, J-Rod sitting in second place with Bean right on his heels on the very last turn. Let's see if Bean makes any moves. He's going to try to go for that inside, and J-Rod's going to hold him off. Oh, that was not the last lap, actually. Under the impression that it was. Edwards is so far ahead. So both Bean and J-Rod now casing that first jump section as they go over the last rhythm section. Bean with a ride on J-Rod, pushes him to the outside and off the track, but J-Rod comes back on right where he needs to be around the berm and then makes that pass, that repass on Bean 05, putting him back into transfer position. And hopefully for the remainder of this race, if you're J-Rod, if you're Bean, you're hopeful that he messes up on this whip section here. Let's see what happens. Clean going through it and not clean coming out, though. But J-Rod is going to grab that final transfer spot in a pretty crazy way to finish that race. Bean 05 is not very happy. Sorry, Bean, but he had a good race, a risky move, and sometimes that's just what happens. Here we have Snap right now crawling to the finish line. He's going to complete this race in last place. His first HT Supercross race of Season 7, and unfortunately will also be his last chance qualifier. So we'll be right back with the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It's the last one of the season. It's going to be very exciting. And we can... Alright, everyone, welcome back. This is the final main event of the season. Very excited to bring this to you and happy that you could join us. And to answer your question, TJ, I see you there in the chat. No, it is not like last season where you had to have a minimum race. This season, and at the end of last season, we actually changed it so that you only had to do one race to count on the leaderboard. It is about that the whole craziness of doing 6 minimum races was just a little too much. So this is the lag test, and let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. This is the last time we're going to get to do this on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, and some of these could change, and we'll see it right now. So the people you're looking at right now is Shazo 4 and Sully. If Sully gets a position that can overrule something and get him 2 points, he will tie with Shazzle in points, but will win that tiebreaker. Oh my god, Office goes flying, but will win that tiebreaker because he has less of a bonus point advantage for his team. So all Sully has to do is improve on a previous race by at least 2 points, 2 positions higher than his lowest finish. And he could pass Shadow to get 4th place at the end of the season. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the rest of the leaderboards right now too. I'll pull those up really quickly. Office also has 88 points, so Office is in that mix right now. And alright, so the leaderboards are correct. So Sully wins that tiebreaker with Office because he also has less of a point advantage with Office. Rockstar Energy Racing KTM has a 2-point bonus. The tactical advantage is 1. So if Office or Sully can get 2, then they could pass. They could tie and pass Shazzle. And Castle, if he can get 3, can can tie and pass Shazzle. So that is that situation right there. And we're getting ready to start the main event very, very soon. This is going to be the last one of the season. I've said that a lot, and I don't really like saying it because this season has been extremely, extremely successful. And to answer your question again, TJ, you do not have to be on a team. You can be a free agent, but there are huge benefits to being on a team. The points bonus is being one of them. If you guys ever have any questions in the stream, don't be afraid to ask. I'm happy to answer anything you might have. Let's do this. Main event time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this main event is about to be underway. In this main event, we have Sully, Edward, Office, J-Rod, Pancake, Shazzle, Unrealistic, Racing, Gogeta, Hatter, Castle, and finishing it off with Nuked Ice Cream. I prefer this view to the whole shot. I'm not sure about you, but we're going to go up here. It's looking down, a view that we don't normally get. So, Racer's trying to time the get right now. They can't do that again. If they do it again and get caught, that could be a couple false starts I see. Nuked Ice Cream, not sure if he timed the gate there, but if he did time the gate, that'll be a false start regardless if he passed through it without hitting it or not. So that being said, in first place right now we have Nuked Ice Cream grabbing that hole shot from that lucky guess on the gate with Shazo 4 behind him, Castlefied and Hatter. Hatter's trying to move around Castle right now. He's on his inside. Looks like he's going to get that pass with Castle moving back into fourth place. In the fifth place of Unrealistic and sixth of Gogeta Rules behind him. Gogeta Rules currently sits in third place. And remember, Castle is tied with Sully, actually 1 point behind Sully in Office with 87 points. So all he needs to do is get a decent finish here. I think a second place could move him a full point ahead of Shazzle. On this, as long as Shazzle doesn't overrule position, and right now he's really making a statement out in first place. He doesn't want anyone taking his spot on the leaderboards, and his racing right now in first place is showing that he's not going to go down without a fight. So with 1 lap complete and almost 2 laps, Nuked Ice Cream in second place still, after being passed by Shazzle in the last lap. With Shazzle in first place with 2 laps completed, Nuked in second, Castle in third. Gogeta moves up to fourth, and Unrealistic rounds out your top 5. But Hatter is trying to get a pass on him, move into fifth place. We'll keep an eye on them as they go through the rhythm section. Let's see who gets through it cleanly. Unreal was cleaner through that, but Hatter has taken the slightly faster way of that double over the double rollover section. A little bit of a tongue twister, but we'll get it. And we have a pack brewing right now behind Hatter. This is Unknown Racing, King Edward the First, and Office. All members of the same team, but not really wearing their respective team colors right now. It'll be interesting for them to differentiate each other throughout this race, as I completely screw up on that enunciation of that word. So Gogeta Rose has actually moved up past Castlefied. Is both up for the outside section right there. Castlefied trying to get on Gogeta's inside, as we hear Mongoose is roaring past us, and the camera jumping back and forth, trying to focus on Gogeta and Castlefied right now. Both going over the whoop section at about the same pace right there. I could tell from going into those, probably going to be similar. Castlefied casing that finish line double a little bit, losing a little bit of time, but also a little bit faster around the berm right there. As both are going to take the inside of this rhythm section. Both are going to get it cleanly. Gogeta Rule is still in second place, and Castlefied in third. The Nuked Ice Cream is going to go down after the double rollover section, with Hatter is mad and Unrealistic trying to make a move on him right now, and we just have a number of racers go down at the end of that rhythm section. That was just kind of crazy. Tatter's mad comes out of that cleanly and alive. I'm sure that the fact that he's still breathing is a good thing for Hatter after that pileup, because that was just a little crazy, unrealistic. Trying to get some moves on him right now. It's Gogeta rules. Still in second place. I do believe he was in second place at the end of this lap, and your leader is still Shazo 4, where the Office 1808 looks like he could be lagging right now. He's going into a tough block. This is a bad way to end a race, and the Office 1808 has lagged out. He may not be rejoining us. Not not the best way you can end the season. Hopefully he's not too shaken up about that. In Office, I do feel for you, buddy. That's kind of rough. Gogeta rolls messing up at the end of that rhythm section, casing the last jump with Castlefied, gaining some time on him from that mistake, and trying to push him around on the inside. We'll switch to the other viewers. Both go over the triple right now. Castle trying to make some inside moves, but setting up towards his outside right now. Actually, he's going back towards the inside. He's still trying to get an inside move right here. As Castle is right on Gogeta's heels right now. Not going to try for an inside move on this berm, but we'll see what happens at the end of this first rhythm section. Castle Fight is going a little bit more wide than Gogeta, but does negotiate that rhythm section cleanly and is still behind Gogeta Rules right now, looking to make that pass for second place. But if Shazo 4 keeps his race up right now, Shazo could overrule one of his many fourth place positions, giving him, in fact, I think Shazo's lowest score that's being calculated right now could be a fifth place. So he could get 4 extra points on his leaderboard total, which would make it pretty much impossible for Castle, Office, or Sully to come back and pass him. People in my living room just trying to figure out what they're saying. I keep getting distracted. I need to start shutting my door. I'm sorry about that. So Castle Fiden is still behind Gogeta, losing a little bit of time. We'll go back and see what else is happening on the track as we see a fight between Pancake and this is Sully right now. Sully not where he wants to be at all. We've said his name a couple times, but haven't been able to really locate him on the track. But there he is right there. This is a very smooth running race. Even when people are far away, there's just not a whole lot of lag. And for a final race of the season, that's something that we like to see. Unfortunately, that can't be true for everyone. Office did kind of get the lag hammers right there, and just kind of a bummer. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But the race continues, and it looks like this four-man pack between Nuked Ice Cream, Edward, and his teammate Pancake, with solely a tactical advantage, trying to get around both of them. And a rider goes down. That's Nuked Ice Cream. Gets sent off as Mongoose as well. Not sure what position he was in right there. But Gogeta Rules and Castle Fight are trying to get around lapped riders right now on the track. That is J-Rod. And they've both caught up to Shazzle. Both running faster laps than Shazzle right now, catching up to him. This could be Shazzle's first and only win of Season 7 as we get honked at. I'm not going to really pull up my shirt for you, Castle. That's just not going to happen. As much as I'd like to, I don't think that that's very stream friendly. This is a family experience. So I'm going to need you to calm down. You're at a 10 and need you to be at about a 2. So Gogeta is right behind Shazzle. Actually, not right behind him just yet, but definitely getting close. They both go over that triple. Gogeta rolls a little bit more, straight through the air. Shazzle did have a little bit of an endo on that, and Gogeta rolls going down over the oh my god, over the whoop section. Castlefied right behind him. Now he's gonna finish off that pass on the inside, going off of the first berm and into the first jump section. So Gogeta rolls a very unlucky flip. He pretty much James Stewarted the end of that rhythm section where he looked fine and then all of a sudden wasn't. And I know that I'm about to get so much hate for making fun of JS7, but I just calls it like I sees it. That's my jobs. So Castlefied has moved back into second place. Um, with Shazo Ford not too far ahead of Castle and Gogeta right now. Hatter's Mad going down over that rhythm section, unrealistic, gaining a little bit of time, but Hatter taking the double on that rollover section. As Gogeta Rolls is gonna have to make another pass in Castle Fight. Castle Fight trying to get a little fancy over that. Gogeta Rolls going down a little bit, but not enough to really screw up his race entirely. Just lose a little bit of time. He got an unfortunate roll, but a fortunate recovery from that. That's what we'll call it. As he rolls left, steers right, back onto the track. We'll go ahead and find Shazzle right now. There is your leader. With only a couple third places to his name on this, I don't believe that he's even finished in second place. Let's see what happens. I'll try to multitask and look at him. So no, Shazzle 4 has not finished in second place. He has had three third place finishes with a combined average of totals that are being counted right now. Nuked Ice Cream is going backwards on the track. He got sent off the rhythm section, and he is lagging a little bit right now. So Nuked Ice Cream having a little bit of lag issues. I guess I jinxed it by saying that this was a lag-free lobby. It's clearly not. But Shazzle has a average of his races being calculated right now of 10.88. So his average finish is just below 11th. So this would bump his average up. Uh, but averages aren't all too important. It's about how many points you have. Sure, the points factor into the average, but the average isn't everything. It's what the average goes behind. And this will bump Shazzle up at least 4 points because actually at least 3 points. I'm sorry, because he could have a plethora of fourth place finishes that are being calculated right now, but we're not sure. More than likely, he probably has a fifth or a sixth in there. Shazzle 4 has run a very solid season. His team leader Soda Pop regularly says that Shazofor has much more skill than his positions at the end of some of his races have tried to explain. And right now, Shazzle is really backing up those statements right now in first place with only 3 laps left. And Gogeta Rules and Castlefied still trying to catch up to him. And we see a lapped rider, that's Hatter is Mad, sitting behind him. Where it's unrealistic I think Unrealistic might have been lap 2. I think that Pancake is the closest rider to him, and he is in fourth place, whereas Sully is in fifth and Edward is in sixth. So your leader should be coming around right there. Yep, there he is. There's Shazzle. If we take another look at that race 17 sign on the top left corner, this season is almost over, ladies and gentlemen. With only 2 laps to go, your leader right now, Shazzle 4, trying to get around J-Rod yet again with a pretty beautiful move to J-Rod's inside right there. And J-Rod's going to take the inside of this rollover section and give the leaders the room they need. And with only 2 laps to go, about 1.5 laps to go now, Gogeta Rules, who has said before the race that this track has been very good to him, could be looking at a last lap move and try to get his 4th win of the season, which could boost him a certain amount of points. Because Gogeta Rules has also had a really good season. So Shazzle, a little bit squirrely right there, and also just really teetering on the edge of that final jump as we head into this last lap. Gogeta Rules clearly with the faster line right now. He's gaining a lot of time on Shazzle. So we go into our overhead view. We don't have any sponsors, so I don't even know what I can call this cam, but we'll just call it camera 2. But all of that unnecessary stuff aside, Shazo 4 is going to take his first and only win of season 7, and he is going to finish off this season, a monumentally successful season, in first place with Gogeta Rules grabbing his second silver finish this season. Gogeta Rules has had 3 wins, 2 second places, and 2 third places, and Shazo 4 gets to add a first place to his collection of medals. Didn't finish it off with a second place, but I'm sure that you'd prefer first place medal to a second place any day. So huge congrats. Oh my God. Huge congratulations to Shazzle4 on his win. This is just so exciting. I can't speak normally right now. And another congrats to Gogeta Rules on his second place finish right there. Castlefied with his fifth third place of the season, and Pancake with his third. Nope. Actually, that doesn't even matter. Pancake can't overrule anything unless he gets to first place. But that is fourth place for Pancake, and rounding off the top five is the Soli. So we'll update the unofficial results. We'll talk to Shazzle on his win, Gogeta Rules, Castlefied, and then unfortunately have to finish season 7. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is just terrible. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, everyone. This is the last post-race interview that we'll get to do all season, and figured we'd make it special by having all top 3 people in here at the same time so they can brag about how good they are compared to everyone else. So Shazzle4, let's start with you. Congrats on the win, buddy. Your first one of the season. How are you feeling right now, knowing that you finally got a first place in the bag?
Well, I wish it had come earlier in the season, but it's at least nice to get one, and hopefully that'll carry over into what I assume will be HT Nationals, but it's nice, I guess. I don't know. I wish everybody was there so it was like more competitive, but I don't know. It's not like Gogeta and Castle were all that good anyways.
Whatever. Oh, God damn it. Oh, jeez.
All right, so with getting this win, and it's the last race of the season, does this kind of boost your confidence going into the next one? Like, do you feel better about season 8?
I don't know if you would have listened to the answer to my last question, but I pretty much just said the answer to that.
No, actually, you kind of didn't, and it's my job to ask stupid questions and to get under your skin. I mean, like, I had these things written down, and that wasn't really thinking about, that they didn't get the same answer. But are we gonna see you in season 8, Shazzle? Is that a good question?
It depends on when season 8 is. Football's gonna be in the fall, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show up. I'll probably still make it, but I'll probably be there.
All right.
We'll see.
So now, second place finishers next. Gogeta Rules.
Okay,
That's your.
nice talking to you.
Yeah, it's great talking to you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. All right. So Gogeta Rules. Your second place of this season, and you've said that this track has been very good to you, and you got an all right start, and you definitely started pulling back to give Shazzle a run for his money at the end of that race. How were you feeling at the end of season 7?
Well, I was feeling alright. Just had a little of bad luck, I would say, near the middle of the season. But these last 2 races, I feel like I've done alright.
Suck it.
But
Sorry.
And I was getting pretty close to Jab. It could have been a nice battle between me, him, and Castle. Had the track been more consistent. But I ain't complaining. I got third in the season, so yeah, it's alright.
All right. Can we see you in season 8?
Jeff, Will there be a larger breast?
There could be. There definitely could be. We're working on
I
it.
In that
actually,
case,
I hate to interrupt, but what was the cup size of the large breast this year, or this season?
You don't even want to know.
Oh my God.
That
oh Lord,
if we share that
I'm in.
information, yeah, and if next season is going to be larger than the cup of these breasts, then I'm sure that we're in for a pretty crazy ride.
You know what, Jeff? You convinced me. I'm in. I'm doing
I
season
hope
nine.
I just hope I don't suffocate.
So Castle, I
To,
think you
to
actually have.
motorboat that, you would need a motorboat.
Ah, I see what you did there. I was gonna go there. I was thinking about it, but family-friendly stream that's not turning out to be so friendly with having three scurvy Supercross racers in the same party. So Castle, I'm gonna double check this right now, and you do have the most bronze medal finishes in the entire season. So how does it feel knowing that you're only an on par racer at the end of season 7? Does that hurt your
Shots
self-esteem? Does it?
fired.
I mean, I feel definitely happy to get a third. I mean, I did what I've I did what I accomplished. I was just aiming. I was just saying I gotta beat Sully and I gotta
Today,
beat
Junior.
Office. I mean, I was planning on just trying to get top 3 and get points so I can get top 5 in the season, and I'm hoping these points will be good enough for a 5th. But I mean, about a couple early in the race, midway, I was kind of just I kind of saw the win. I was kind of bummed I didn't get it or even a second, but like I mean I didn't capitalize. I didn't get the better start, and I wasn't racing better. So and Jeb earned it, and I didn't. But I'm just kind of a little bit bummed out. But I mean, this season has been pretty rough, and I think the way to end it was a third this time around was pretty good, and I can't complain. I survived the track. This track fucking blows, and half the purple caps
Oh my
blows
God.
too. Fucking
Family
terrible. Fucking terrible forger. I'm sorry, you can fine me for that, but like
I
Mikey, just
can't find you.
if he could actually like put more effort into his maps, and like I mean Edward fixed it and the frame rate was like very little, and I mean that track was alright, but I mean just like I don't know, I'm hoping I'm hoping to see more warehouse instead of global, so I
Yeah,
think the track survived. I didn't like it, and I was just happy to get through it. I've had some bad luck with this track, and so far I've had after this race I've had 2 bad races and 2 good races and 3 bad races. So maybe next season or next time there's Supercross, be able to even up that ratio, maybe put it positive. So yeah, good way to end the
Jeff,
season.
Jeff, fun fact, with me and Gogeta going 1-2, we scored more points with the restrictions than the winning team did last year with no restrictions.
Wow. It says something about
Guys,
Monster Energy Kawasaki for sure.
you're cutting
Whoa,
you're
whoa.
cutting into my interview.
Yeah, they're
Deal with
awesome.
it.
They're on the
So
right.
last round of questions before we do the whole. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? And you guys get to be all funny and witty about it.
Yeah.
So
You
Shazzle,
forgot
let's start
about
out with you.
you forgot my last question.
Well, no, this is your last question. You got 3rd place. You don't deserve a lot of questions.
No, what you
Ooh.
said, or will you be around for HD
Oh,
Racing Moto?
okay. Castle, will you be around for season 8? Woo.
I don't know yet. It depends on how things go with my relationship with my dad, and if I'm going to BC or Edmonton or whatnot.
That's Chris.
But if not, I'd like to stick around for HD Motocross. And by the way, could you fucking wankers stop calling it nationals? You sound like a bunch of fucking idiots.
No,
Seriously, like
if
nationals, like no one
it's
even.
definitely gonna be
No, but
nationals,
like
man.
no, like if you're gonna call it like HD nationals, like that just sounds so fucking stupid. It's like calling GPs like internationals or
Alright,
globals.
okay.
Just call
I get
them,
it.
call it fucking
Well, you can't call
motocross
it,
because that's
you can't
proper.
you can't call it motocross because then people think you're talking about supercross too.
Exactly.
No,
And we
because
can't call it HT outdoors because Supercross is outdoors too.
Let's just put it
call
this
it
way. Let's just
outdoor
put it this way.
motocross. Call it outdoor motocross.
Cookie Monster has had me muted.
We do outdoor
Cookie Monster has had me muted
Just
for
call
3
it-
years now
just
because
call
I tried
like-
explaining him the difference between Supercross, motocross, and
Well,
outdoors.
Well, first of all, your problem was you were talking to Cookie
You know
Monster,
what? This
who doesn't
interview is
know
going
anything.
down the hill.
Hey, back on
No,
track.
no, no, no,
Back
no,
on
I
track.
was-
No,
I
I'm
was
getting
actually
this
no,
back on. No, we're done.
no, no,
Okay.
I was
Castle,
just
you're
gonna
done.
clarify it.
Shazzle,
Bad
Shazzle,
boy.
No, I was.
What was
I
your
was just
favorite
going. Let me
moment of
clarify.
season
Let
7?
me clarify that.
No.
I wasn't
Bad
trying
dog.
to defend it. No, I was.
Castle,
I'm trying to clear it up.
I'm doing it.
I just
was-
would like
I'm
to
just-
have a...
I'm trying to clear up the topic. I
Okay.
wasn't saying
We can-
Cookie Monster specifically. I was saying you're talking to somebody who doesn't understand or know it
All right.
much about the sport.
So,
That applies to anybody.
so now that that's out of the way, Shazzle 4, what's your favorite moment? Oh my God, moment of season 7?
Well, there were a couple times where I started in dead last and made my way up to like 5th or almost even 4th like 3 times. I got some really cool passes, and of course this win. I also have a question. Are you gonna do that season 7 like montage thing that you were talking about?
I should be, yeah.
Okay, 'cause I have a lot of cool passes and whips and stuff I could put into that.
Yeah, I'll definitely like ask you guys for some clips. You guys know the cool things that happened to you. Good asses for sharing, Shazel. Gogeta Rules, same question. Your favorite moment of season 7?
Probably all of the times where I've been involved in a wreck and got points deducted even though I shouldn't have. But no, besides that, probably I think it was my second win, maybe third win on the first stage, or yeah, the first round of Warehouse. Started in second behind Soda after obtaining the whole shot.
Theft
And
Hacker
then
wants to be my friend. Does anybody know a guy named Theft Hacker?
Excuse me, Jim. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, it was just a nice race, and definitely feel like I 100% earned that.
He probably
So.
sent me that friend request because he saw me win on the stream.
Probably.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gogeta Rules. That pretty much wraps up season 7. I'm
No
just kidding,
problem.
Castle.
What?
Castle, what was your favorite moment of season 7?
I'd just like to say something really important. As much drama as this squad has caused and all the bullshit that I've had to deal with and a lot of other people have had to deal with, I think this squad really was a cool pastime, and it was awesome to come out to these races, whether they were good or bad. There's a saying I like to go by, and it's not a waste. It's well, there's 2 things. Well, no, it's just one quote. Time you enjoyed wasting is not wasted time, and I'd just like to say I enjoyed wasting my time with this squad, and it wasn't wasted time. So, and yeah, I just did contradict myself, but whatever, yolt. This squad had their squad has created some good memories over the years, and I think it's awesome that it's still going, and it's going to keep going for hopefully many more to come. So, just like to really quick, I'm going to just transition the question into thank yous. I'd like to thank Jeff and Purple for co-leading this and putting this together and putting up all this shit. I think it's awesome that you guys have drawn out this many people in this community, and you've gotten a lot of people interested in something to look forward to, and I think that means a lot for that just means a lot in our community. Seeing our community is really small, and it's really like it's not like a bad community, and we have a really committed and dedicated community, and I think it's awesome that you're going to see that dedication in this squad and people coming out to these races. And I mean, there's room to improve always, but I think this season was probably the best in terms of hosting and the way things were run. There were a couple of shitty moments, but I mean, I think this season worked out really well, and I just want to give a round of applause and say congratulations to Jeff and Purple for pulling out the season. Not so much Purple because Mikey's a fucking asshole, but congrats to Jeff and a little bit of Purple, and and props to all the race hosts, including from Jeff, Purple, Jab and Edward, everyone did their job. I mean, everyone had their shitty races that they hosted, but I mean, well, not everybody. Jeff didn't. But thanks for
Jeff
Jeff
did
for
host.
streaming, and yeah, just I want to say thank you to the entire squad for pulling it off. Like,
It's nice to
awesome
be able
that
to
they're
come on
doing
here and fantasize about racing Supercross, considering I'm such a
Yeah.
spode and we'll never be able to do it in real life.
it.
That wrap it up for you, Castle?
Yeah, I'd say that's about it for me. Other than that, I'd like to thank Gogeta. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank Pro Circuit, Monster Energy. I'd like to thank Bikes for Awesome
Jeff,
this year.
Jeff,
I'd like to thank
Jeff,
Jab, and I'd like
Jeff,
to thank Purple
Jeff,
for being a dick, and I'd like to
Jeff,
thank Hatter.
Jeff,
That
okay,
wraps
Jeff,
it up for me.
Jeff, you know that
Thank you,
theft
Castle.
hacker guy I was talking about?
Yeah.
He sent me a friend who's really a hacker, and I'm just watching the stream. Oh,
Oh.
I'm not even joking.
What's his gamer tag? I want to say hi.
Theft hacker, give him a shout out.
Theft Hacker, thank you for coming out and watching the stream. I know Shazzle's completely disrespectful, but don't worry, we're a bunch of cool guys, and I'm looking forward to Shazzle accepting your friend request.
I already did.
Awesome.
I bet people are just totally face palming right now, just like.
So this is the last race of this season, Hacker, but I will get to that after Shazzle or
It's a
Gogeta rules. But I guess we'll start with Shazzle because he got first place. Shazzle, is there anyone that you'd like to thank? Your last chance to speak in a post-race interview.
Okay, well, I guess I'll thank Sodapop for picking me on the team and giving me the 3-point advantage. He's also taught me a lot of stuff throughout the season, and you and Purple for putting this on, and it's just really nice to be able to come out every Saturday and be able to enjoy just something competitive that's not Slayer in a first-person shooter, considering I'm
Kill
mediocre
yourself.
at Slayer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And it's just really cool to see all the hard work that goes into it and how great the stream looks and whatnot. So it's always just nice to come out here.
Thank you. That definitely means a lot.
Other than that, you do a pretty shitty job at everything else you
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. Much appreciated. HD 5.0 included.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get Sodapomp's,
That especially.
I'm gonna get Sodapomp's beta access, so in BD.
Soda pop art. Anyway, I'm starting to digress. Gogeta rules. Your turn.
You know,
Last chance to speak.
for
Make it count.
well, you know, I can just say something. No, I'll go ahead and thank all my sponsors: Fox Gear, Red Bull. Let's see, what other sponsors do I have? Okay, 343. Oh yeah, Monster Energy Kawasaki. Yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm a broke guy, but someone has a really nice echoing mic.
Don't shout out me, your homie. That's cool. I shouted you out.
I would
just
like
invited
to
Theft
shout out.
Hacker to the party, so.
I would just like to shout out a few people. Those people are my homie Castle, Roger DeCostner.
You can't shout out
For
real life.
training
You're
me.
gonna get sued. You're gonna get sued by Red Bull and KTM
Whatever.
for not officially being sponsored.
I'd like to thank my training buddy, Ken Roxon, and Adam Sancerulo, on RV1, of course, and my personal trainer, Alden Baker.
I hope you
Keep
choke
fit
on
for the
steam,
season.
you dickhead.
And, whatever. Besides that, I'd like to thank my teammates, except for NJD, because he bailed out. No, I'm just kidding, NJD, love you, bye.
I hate NJD.
But yeah, it's been a nice season. Thank you, Jeff and Purple, and all the race hosts. And thank you for bringing us that enjoyment every Saturday.
All right.
Jeff, I'd like to be official.
What?
One last thank you once again. I'd like to thank the I'm making this worse, by the way. I'd like to thank
Yes, you
Jeff
are.
and Purple for putting on the season. I'd like to thank my teammates for coming out and racing. I'd like to congratulate Soda, Pancake, and Gogeta for the top 3 in the season. And I'd like to just say thanks to everybody I battled with, and thanks to everybody for coming out. That includes Hatter for being a stubborn bastard. I'd like to thank Mountain Dew for believing in me, and Rob for constantly inviting me to go play Halo 3 right now. So yeah, anyways, thanks again for the season, Jeff. It means a
Thanks for
lot,
coming
and
out.
it was awesome. Hope to see more racing, just as good, if not better, next
Thanks, dude.
season or many seasons to come. That wraps
Means
it
a
up for
lot.
me.
Anyway, have fun in Halo
Oh,
3.
watch out.
Thanks to you for coming out, Castle. Enjoy yourself. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I just realized that every time I move the Xbox menu around, it's incredibly loud on the stream. Sorry for anyone wearing headphones on that, but anyway, that pretty much concludes this race, and will conclude season 7. Theft Hacker came in a little late, buddy, but don't worry, we've got an entirely new season in the works that'll come out in a month or two. No exact date, but I can estimate maybe a month or two. I like to thank everyone that signed up for season 7. You know, we weren't expecting anything like this when the season started, with how successful it was, how many people were into it. Just something that we weren't expecting at all, and to have the success that we have this season is something that I don't think has ever even happened on Halo Tracks before. And this isn't a game that everyone says is in a steep decline, that nobody really plays anymore. And we just pulled off a record season. So I mean that's just incredible. And you know it's not my efforts, it's not Purple's efforts. I mean we just make things look pretty, but really it's everyone that signs up and comes to the races that makes HT
And
Supercross what
makes
it
the
is,
tracks.
and makes the tracks exactly. So this season would not have been possible without any of them. I mean, Purple and I can start up a new season anytime, but without people, you know, coming out and making that a reality, there's no point in even doing it in the first place. Um, so if you liked what you saw this season, you can make an account or log in to an existing one on halotracks.org, and you can sign up for HT Supercross. That'll cover you into next season, where we'll restart with race 1 in season 8. Details on that will come out soon. Keep your eye out for an announcement trailer that will give you an idea as to what the next season is gonna have. Um, but with that, my name is Jeff H3962. This has been 17 weeks of HT Supercross. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you're rooting for Soda Pop, we hope that you enjoyed the outcome. And if you're rooting for Shazzle this race, like I know Soda Pop was, I'm sure that he enjoyed the outcome too. Um, that concludes this season. It's been a pleasure commentating this. It's been a great experience, and we'll see you all for season 8. Take care of yourselves.
Bye.